Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today I am going to be talking about my experience at Electric Forest 2024. Yes, I know it's another music festival video after doing my Bonnaroo one last, but I promise we're gonna get back to a good balance of travel and music festivals. Similar to my last video, I didn't vlog a bunch, so instead of this being a full music festival vlog, I'm just going to be sitting down and talking about it and showing you clips as we go. So for those of you that don't know, Electric Forest is a music festival that happens up in Rothbury, Michigan at the end of June every year. It is one of the biggest festivals to go to here in the US. It's one that was on my bucket list for many years, since 2017, since before I even knew I liked electronic dance music. And it used to have a big jam focus because it is put on by the String Cheese Incident, but it definitely has become more electronic heavy in recent years. It's a really cool festival, lots of good music, but on top of that, it is just really fun to explore the forest. The venue is so crazy. There's just like so many little things to do and look at. The art is really interactive. So needless to say, getting to go in 2024 was just so crazy. It's a festival I dreamed about for so long, and to finally be there was like, whoa. It was a really fun experience, and now I want to start by talking about how I got there. So for most people, getting to Forest is a bit of a hike. It is up there in Michigan. You either have to fly into Grand Rapids, rent a car, or, Chicago, Detroit, something like that, but regardless, it's gonna be a few hours getting there. Personally, since I was at Bonnaroo the weekend before, I just drove straight up from Tennessee. Monday, the day after Bonnaroo, I left the campgrounds and picked up my friend Charlie just outside of Nashville. And then from there, we basically did an 8-hour drive up to Holland State Park in Michigan, about an hour or so away from Rothbury. We stayed at that state park for 2 nights and spent all day Tuesday and Wednesday before heading over to the Electric Forest. We enjoyed some time by the water. It's my first time at a Great Lake, and it truly was a beach experience, which I was not expecting. We had some really good hot dogs, some good beers. It was a cute little place, good time to decompress before jumping into our next festival. The whole Bonnaroo back-to-back Electric Forest thing is a big thing that people do. So this year I will be making a full video about that experience, getting from one festival to the other and driving through Indiana, so stay tuned for that. So as for getting to the festival, we arrived on Thursday night after midnight, and it was pretty seamless. We only had to wait in line for about an hour or so. Security was smooth, and we got a good campsite. We made friends with 4 other people in line with us and had like a big area for all of us to set up camp together. And they were all really fun to camp with. Can't wait to see a lot of them again this year. And we only ended up being a 10-15 minute walk away from the entrance into the festival grounds. I also had to go to will call when I arrived because I couldn't get my wristband shipped to me as I was living on the road. And that was pretty seamless too. So as for the campgrounds, they are much smaller than I expected them to be. It's pretty easy to get around. Really fun, like people have cool setups, lots of take one, leave ones, just really fun vibes. Within the campgrounds too, there's this place called Main Street, which is like this big area before you get to the entrance to the venue. There's lots of food options around there. Within Main Street, there's also this thing called the Brainery where they had a lot of different workshops like yoga. There's programming for that too, so check that out definitely if you're interested. There was also a Dunkin' stand giving away free Dunkin' every morning. I think I only got it once, but yeah, free coffee. Who's gonna say no to that? And there are also a lot of cool like clothing vendors. I ended up getting a top and a pashmina. But I spent most of that first morning just exploring the campgrounds, Main Street area, and then I got ready for the day. Showers were $10, they were fine. And then with that, I was ready to go into the venue for Thursday. So Thursday afternoon, I just spent most of the time just exploring the forest. There's so much to see. Again, like I was saying, like lots of art installations. There's this place called the Dream Emporium with lots of rooms, a lot of different things going on, like people in a rowboat. There were wrestling matches. There's a skating rink thing. There's a room with like human cats. I don't know. There's a lot to see in there. So definitely take some time to check that out. The chapel is also cool. People get married at Electric Forest, so it's super cool to witness that. There's also a scavenger hunt you can do. I didn't do it this past year, but hopefully I can this year. I don't know, we'll see. And then I just saw a bunch of sets the rest of the day. I saw Vanessa back-to-back Nala, and their back-to-back is called Girl Math, which that was a fun way to get the day started. Saw Zen Selecta, she is great. And then I just saw like melodic house type thing. So I saw Sultan and Shepherd, and that was during sunset, and that was such a nice vibey little set. I saw La Youth, also great, and then Ben Bomer to end the night. So as for afters, after the music was done inside the venue within the campgrounds, these people had these stages set up for DJs to go play. I didn't really end up going to many afters. I just, after a full day of music, I just wanted to go back and chill at camp. But people are all about them. They're really popular. But there were some issues with them this past year. So I don't really know if it's going to be a thing this year. So on to Friday. This kind of happened the same way every day, where I just spent most of the morning, early afternoon outside the venue, hanging out around the campgrounds with friends, getting ready for the day. I hung out at the Brainery for a while, eating breakfast, and then hung out with other friends at one of their campsites. And then it was time to head in. I only saw a few sets this night at the Observatory, which is a really cool stage because it was like the psytrance night, trancey night. So I saw Suelo, Marsh, and then Vini Vici and Blastoise. I saw a bit of Leighton Giordani after that. Still trying to catch a full set of his, but yes, the psytrance was definitely a highlight. Fun party, upbeat vibes. And then Saturday at Forest 2024, most of the music got canceled on Saturday. Normally music goes from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. There was no music really until midnight because it was raining so bad. I spent the day basically at my campsite with all our friends. Like, all of us were there hanging out, riding out the storm. And when the rain wasn't so bad, we set up a slip and slide, so that was like really fun. If it's raining at a festival, music gets canceled. You can't just, sit there and do nothing. You gotta party in the rain. So that's what we were doing. What are you gonna do? You just gotta have a good time, even if you're missing a lot of the artists you wanted to see. And I did miss a lot because of that, but I got to see Maupi and John Summit, and that was a really great way to end the night after such a crazy day. And then on to Sunday, I definitely slept in a bunch. It was the tail end of these 2 back-to-back festivals. I was exhausted, but I did make it back out to the venue to go see some sets. I sort of saw Freeze Mickey, but I napped a lot of that set. And then I saw Maddie O'Neill. She did one of her house sets, I think called Madhouse, and that was super fun at the Honeycomb, which is like a 360 stage setup, which was really cool stage too. And then I ended the night with Chase and Status. Fun set. Saw them the week before at Bonnaroo, and it was super fun seeing them again at Forest, front row. But then the infamous Attention Festival sign came on, and we were told to leave because of the rain. On our way out of the venue, we stopped by the chapel and actually hung out there to wait out the rain, and then left once we realized that there was not going to be any more music for the rest of the night. Clearly, I did not catch that many sets at Forest. Part of it was me not getting up early enough to go see people earlier in the day, but also the rain was just canceling a lot of shows. I just missed so many people I wanted to see, but what are you gonna do? And that was my Electric Forest experience. It wasn't super crazy. It was fun hanging out with friends. It was fun to explore and see the music that I did get to see, but it was still a great experience with all the setbacks that we encountered. So even though Forest was over, I did not leave right away because I was volunteering with Clean Vibes to do post-show cleanup. So one of the reasons I had not gone to Forest in previous years is because 1, it sells out really fast, but 2, tickets are really expensive and I can't really justify spending that much on a festival, especially before I liked music festivals. So that is when I found out about Clean Vibes. Clean Vibes is a cleanup crew company. They do cleanup for a lot of different festivals, and they have a volunteer program for all the festivals they do. So you put down a deposit, and after doing all your shifts, you get your money back. So you basically go for free. You do have to put down a non-refundable deposit of $30 or something when you send in your application, and that's, paying for your shirt. Getting to go to Forest for $30, $40 is a win in my book. We have different options you can do during show cleanup. You can do cleanup in the morning before the festival starts, or during festival hours, or post-show. And I did post-show because I had nothing but time. I could stay after the fact to do cleanup, and I just got to enjoy the full festival and then do my hours. It was 2 10-hour days, and it was a really good experience. We were just cleaning up the campgrounds, kind of putting all the camping supplies that people left behind in a pile, and other trash, so the staff could come around and pick it up easier. But as you can imagine, the rain made it really fun. People left a lot of broken camping supplies or that were really wet. Since we were cleaning up the campgrounds, we were moved to staff camping and we got meals the days we were working. It's really good. Had staff catering. If you have looked into going to Forest but thought it was too expensive, or looked into Clean Vibes and wasn't sure how it is really fun. I highly recommend it if that's something you're interested in, so you can go to Forest for free. So yeah, that was my time at Electric Forest in 2024. This year I'm hoping to do a better job of vlogging, but also be working it, so we'll see how that goes. Very excited to be going again. It is a great festival and I highly recommend it to anyone who wants to go. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!